Hi, I'm Steve Williams and this is Scooter and the Sticks. The sun's out now, which is nice. It's a cold morning. It's about 21 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's a good time to get acclimated to riding my Vespa again in the winter. So let's go for a ride and see how well I do in the cold. Cold morning, 21 degrees Fahrenheit and windy, and the sun is mostly behind the clouds, so there's no psychological boost of warmth. But when you ride through winter, you have to sort of ease yourself into it. I started to think about how I came to ride in the winter, and it was due to the fact that I was commuting to work on my Vespa, at the time LX 150 and then this GTS. But I enjoyed riding so much that when the cold weather came, I continued to ride, and I just slowly over time build up strategies to deal with the cold, hone my skills to deal with the potential risks on the roadway and things like that. So I thought I would do another commute to my office, even though I've been retired for over 5 years, just to see if I can recall what that trip was like. In this part of the country, one of the big risks is ice on the road. And that's not necessarily after a snowfall, but there's so many places where melts and streams and springs run across the road that you have to really pay attention. And that's one of the challenges of riding in the winter. You need to completely change your approach. And I don't advise anyone to ride in the winter when the temperature drops below freezing. Mainly because of the risk, and I don't know people. I don't know what they're like on the road. But if you're someone that likes to go fast, if you like to lean hard, if you like to be aggressive, you probably would be well advised to store your scooter for the winter. Because riding in cold weather, even on a dry road like this, has much less traction. There's always a risk of something slippery on a turn, so you have to really slow down on a turn you can't see all the way through, because who knows what could be in there. Sometimes it's just someone dumps their coffee out the window onto the road surface, and bam, you hit that frozen patch, and you can go down if you're leaning hard. Before I learned to adjust my riding skills for winter, what I learned more immediately was the need for more gear to stay warm. It is miserable to be cold when you're riding, and I sort of feel like a spaceman sometimes with all the gear I have. I'm wearing heavy boots, which you can get away with on a scooter since you don't need to shift. I have flannel lined jeans today. I have insulated overpants. I have a t-shirt, a wool sweater, my insulated winter riding jacket, a neck gaiter, full face helmet, heated Kemimoto battery operated gloves, and you see here I've already got the Chicano Urbano muffs mounted on the scooter, so my hands are nice and toasty, and I can ride well below zero with those muffs now. And before that, because I didn't like the way they looked, I went through so many gloves and expedition mission mittens, electric gloves, and once you got down to 25 to 20 degrees, they just didn't help. Your hands got cold. The wind just cuts through all that stuff. With these muffs, I don't even need the electric gloves. These Kemimoto gloves, I'm on the cool setting now, and that's plenty, but I could wear my summer gloves because I have heated grips too, and I have them on now, and it's nice on a cold ride to feel something warm. Well, battery failures because of cold weather, that's a new one on me. I haven't been making a lot of winter videos, so it's something I'll have to factor into my cold weather riding preparedness scheme. It's always something that happens. The other thing I noticed after the ride when I got home was my feet were getting cold, even though I'm wearing some heavy boots. And the reason for that is it was cold when I had the dogs out, and my feet were already cold when I left. And one thing I've learned is don't ever start a cold weather ride if you're cold or if your feet are cold, because you won't warm up on the ride. At least I never do. One other thing I noticed is I used to stop for a big meal while I was riding, and I'd be freezing after that because it's like all the blood's going down into my guts to digest the food, and I just get cold. So I'm very careful about eating, even when I'm riding in winter. So there's a lot of things to think about. The ride was a good introduction to the cold weather. I felt fine. I rode for a little less than an hour, and it didn't really warm up above 21 degrees, so I think I'm slowly moving in that direction. I'm not sure how much I'll ride this winter. I'm not sure if I'll ride the Himalayan or the ET4, but I think there's a lot to think about, and again, I don't advise anyone to ride when the temperature's below freezing, because there's just a lot of risk and a lot of things that I learned through hard knocks that you may not want to risk, especially if you have a nice shiny new scooter. Nothing else. There's around here salt and grit on the road during winter, and it can be pretty hard on a scooter. So anyway, that's about it for this episode of Scooter and the Sticks. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be well and ride safe.